All right, welcome to another episode of the Independent Wrestling Shootout here on the JTR Podcast Network. This is Mark Reb coming to you from the Noodles position in Champaign, Illinois, joined as always by my buddy Minderz. And Minderz, this is a different one than we usually do today. Ordinarily, we run down all the indie shows and crack wise and make picks and tease people. Well, you tease people.
I'm really good at teasing people.
You really are.
I've already started. Did you see I've already started? Because I changed my profile picture today.
Oh, which belt are you holding?
Oh, I'm holding the Baja Mad Bash Championship. But did you happen to notice that TY Ice actually commented on it?
I didn't notice that. And then you had to.
And he said, because I said I'd make a pretty good looking champ, and he said, nah. My response was, "You're just jealous you lost your belt."
Well, you know what my opinion. As long as the hair matches the belt, I think you're okay.
It's great.
So,
let's get into what we're really here for.
So the important stuff we're talking about. We are here to salute a guy who passed away 5 years ago this week, Minderz. Actually, specifically Sunday, this past Sunday. Don Jackson, who everybody in this area knows very well as the Mississippi Madman. And
man, when life happens, it kind of kicks us all in the took us, doesn't it?
Yeah, took us, and also the plums, depending on which angle you're coming from. So we were planning. We got a couple really cool guests coming, maybe a third.
Maybe a third.
It depends. I can tell you, Minderz, our first guest is going to join us. He had to switch to his phone. The computer wasn't doing well, so he will be joining us momentarily.
Okay.
I will say, and I think you're going to say something similar. I never had the chance to actually meet Madman. I was familiar with him from, I know he wrestled IWA Mid-South a couple years before I was going to IWA shows. And of course, if you follow Midwest Indies, I mean, the name is ubiquitous, risk of using big words that I can't really back up.
Let's say that's a $3 word. What the heck?
Honestly, the first time, well, not the first time, but the first 01 show that I watched on YouTube was the one after his passing when they did the 10 bells and the tribute to him and all that stuff.
So the Decatur show.
The Decatur show, yeah. The one where Jimmy took the big tumble off the ladder.
We're not talking about that part. We're not talking about that part. That is not what we're here for.
Yeah.
We are here to talk about Madman.
That's true.
And but I also, like you, I didn't get a chance to meet Madman because I'd started following independent wrestling around the area in like 2019. So, and then of course COVID hit. Blah.
COVID sucks.
Yeah. And so I never really got the chance. However, with all the wrestlers that I have come to know, and whether I talk crap to them or not, I know all of them have told me just how much Mississippi Madman meant to them.
I have never heard a bad word about the man. In all time
I haven't either.
And so yeah, we wanted to. Full disclosure, we had a much grander idea for what we're doing today, but as they say, life happens. We had some guys with work conflicts. Some just were out of town. All kinds of stuff. So, but we did get some guys that knew Madman pretty well that are going to join us. And did you? Also, one of them is.
Hold on, we got a comment.
Oh, we got a comment.
Barry put up. Never got to see him wrestle live. I was there when PWA inducted him into their Hall of Fame. Yep. Believe I was there with you, Barry. I know. I'm pretty sure I was.
Yep. There is one guy that surprised Minderz I reached out to get some comments, because not only did we want to get some of Madman's friends on, I kind of wanted to get like the fan perception also. So I reached out to Chris Cooper, our Shooty Award winner.
What? You reached out to Chris?
I can be nonpartisan, but he sent me a short clip that he wanted me to play on here. So I'm going to throw that up real quick, and then we can get our guest in because he just arrived. But,
I seen him.
The Mississippi Madman was one of the very first true professional wrestlers to come out of Central Illinois, a larger-than-life character in every sense of the word. When his music hit, the entire atmosphere in the building changed. You felt it. You knew something special was about to happen. The Mississippi Madman wasn't just a gimmick. He was an experience, a presence, someone who made you believe, even for a moment, that anything could happen. Once he stepped through that curtain, he was a special talent, and sadly, one that was taken from us way too soon. But behind that unforgettable persona was Don Jackson. Don was a gentle giant, kind, welcoming, someone who cared deeply about the people around him and the wrestling community he helped build. Those who knew him didn't just respect him, they loved him. So today, this isn't just about remembering a wrestler. It's about honoring a man who gave so much of himself to this business and to this area. Long live the Mississippi Madman. Long live Don Jackson. Gone, but never forgotten. R.I.P. big man. Whose house?
I have a feeling we're going to get a lot of whose house today, and I'm all here for it.
Yes.
I love it.
Well, Minderz, we are joined by the main attraction, Casey Jackson. And Casey, honestly, when we first had the idea to do this, you were the first name that we thought of to bring in because, I mean, I don't think anybody knew Don Jackson better than you did from what I've heard.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Don was actually my best friend. So we've known each other since sixth grade, I think.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, long time.
You're not on the treadmill. I'm excited. You're not on the treadmill. We can hear you today. It's lovely. I love it.
I actually thought about getting on the treadmill today, but I was like, no, not for this one.
Yeah, not for this one. We appreciate it because we're going to need you to help us because I don't know if you caught it earlier. Neither one of us had the privilege of meeting him.
Man, you missed out for sure.
Yeah, we just got here a little too late because, like Reb was saying, the first show he had went back and watched on YouTube was the Decatur show. When
which one
they had Decatur, the big Decatur show, when they had the salute to him, the Tim Bells and everything.
Oh, okay.
For 0-1 at Decatur.
I got you.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I was supposed to be there for that, but I can't remember. Something came up and I couldn't make it.
Devontae's throwing up the hands.
Yeah, I'd been familiar with Madman just because I used to go to IW Mid-South shows when I lived up north, but it wasn't until after he had stopped working up there. So his name was always floating around whenever I'd go and if I was talking to the wrestlers up there. And
so everywhere you went, you just kept missing him then.
Yeah, really, it's kind of how it is. It's like two ships passing the night kind of thing. But it's like what I was telling Minderz. Everybody that ever talked about him, it was always a good thing. Nobody ever had a bad thing to say about him.
That is true. I mean, he was a gentle giant, like Chris. I mean, everything Chris said was true. Larger than life and big old teddy bear. Anywhere he walked into the locker room, he was loved. We started at the same time, and I didn't think I was gonna wrestle. It was like the roles were reversed because we were sitting in my apartment one day before we started wrestling, and we always talked about it. Like growing up, we always talked about it. And one day I just got this bright idea. He came over because he used to come over, and we'd watch we love kung fu movies. That was our thing. So he'd come over and I'd pop in like a DVD or something, and we'd sit there and watch kung fu movies all day. And then out of nowhere, I was just like, dude, I was like, we need to try this wrestling thing. And I think that's back when the first Tough Enough came out.
Oh, and wow.
He was scared to do it because he watched that, and he was like, if I got to go through that, I don't think I can do it, yada, yada, yada. I was like, just try it. You'll never know. And I was like, I got to find a school. We were thinking about going up to Chicago to train because we didn't know any schools around the area. And he was like, no, how about you do it? I'll just be your manager. Yeah, this and that. I was like, no. I said, we got to do it together. And he's like, I'll try it, but I'm not gonna, I'm probably not gonna make it, gonna work out. And then long story short, we was just getting ready to hit up, I think, Windy City, and I was watching Monday Night Raw, and this ad came on TV for New Midwest in Springfield, and I was like, dude, I called him. I said, dude, there's a school right down the road. Let's go. So I still had to talk him into it because he was convinced that he couldn't do it. And we were at the Decatur celebration one time, and we ran into some guys, and one guy was holding his arm, and I was like, what's wrong with you? He's like, oh, wrestling training, yada, yada. And that's like, where the heck are you training at? Because me and Don's trying to get into it. And he told us about New Midwest. I was like, I just seen that commercial. He was like, cool, you guys can come with us to the next training session. So we followed him up there, and we did like a beginner's class. And this is where the roles reversed. Because after we were done, I had this headache. My head was hurting, and I was like, I don't think I can do this. But I didn't want to tell him because he was like overly excited because they let us stay and watch the advanced class. So we did that, and he's just sitting there like a kid in a candy store, like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. We got to come back, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there holding my head, not telling him that I was hurting. And he's sitting there with one arm just shaking the crap out of me, talking, Casey, this is the greatest thing ever. I'm glad you talked me to come. We got to come back. We got to come back. And I was sitting there like, how am I going to tell this fool I'm not coming back? I was like, there's no way I'm coming back. And but I didn't want to break his heart. And I'm like, I'll think of something. But I'm like, he didn't want to do it. I did. And now I don't want to do it. And he does. So we went home for like 4 days. And he's like, he calls me up. We're going to go to training tonight. I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's go. So we went. And then I loved it after that. That first night, I was like, I don't know. And then we went on from there. We didn't become a tag team until later. But we were always in it together.
I have a friend who I think you know, Mike Nargelinas, who was the pain train in New Breed.
Oh, yeah.
He told me to send his regards. He was going to try and join us, but he's got his kids got all kinds of activities and he couldn't get away.
I get that. I appreciate it. I get that. My kid was sick all weekend, so he's still sick.
Yeah, but Nards told me he worked with you and Don in tag matches up there. So
New Breed was one of the first places we started traveling to. We went to New Breed and SCW. There's so many. Like New Midwest did not want me and Don to get out. They were trying to like gatekeep us. Mm-hmm. And they didn't want us to get out. There was a couple of trainers there that was like, you guys need to go to Chicago. You guys need to do this and do that. And then there's other guys like, no, you belong to us. Yeah, blah blah blah. But we didn't listen to them. we told them, okay, we'll stay. And then we went out and tried to find somewhere else to go. And New Breed was one of the first places we traveled to. Pain Train. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Reb sees him on a very regular basis, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was actually my first co-host on JTR.
But, nice.
Yeah. But
tell him I said hey.
I will do that.
But we've had, like I said, it's like we even tried to get Victor on. Mm-hmm. We tried to send him something because we know he's got a real soft spot for Madman, and pretty much anybody that I've met. Like when I went to PWA, there was a lot of the guys that used to talk all the time about how great Madman was. And
yeah, he was. I mean, that like pro wrestling was his deal. Like even in high school, he would tell all his classmates that he was going to be a wrestler one day, and they made fun of him, like, you're not going to do that, blah blah blah. And his dad, we were in his living room one time. We came home from school, and we told his dad that we were going to be wrestlers. And then, of course, his dad was like, y'all ain't going to do nothing. Then he looks at me and he says, Casey, what are you going to wrestle? Midgets? So his dad ended up passing away before we started wrestling, so I wish he was around so I could be like, I'm wrestling more than midgets.
Well, there was Lander.
His dad was a jokester, just like all of us were.
Well, there is Lander.
Yeah, you got a point.
Papa Pullman says, "Hey, Casey."
So. And I'm sorry. I know that's not a correct term these days, but that's what that's what his dad said. So I got to tell the story how it is.
Yeah, no, that's we call it PG-ish, and we try to be as inclusive as we possibly can be. But sometimes that's just the way it is.
When we're growing up, that's what it was called when we were kids.
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough. You're right. It was pretty funny.
Are you gonna do the micro wrestling March 1st? I'm thinking about going.
I'm thinking about going. Like, I went to one show, not to get off topic here, but the last one I went to, my son, I had tickets to go, and then my son was going to be induced that day, and I looked at his mom and I said, "You're going to have to hold off because I'm going to this midget show." And I was like, "You're going to have to wait." I was like, "I'm going to go to this show." And I was like, I promise, when this show's over, I'll come back and take you to the hospital. And that's what we did. Like, she wasn't in labor or anything, so it's not like, the doctor was just like, it's time, so you need to report, and we're going to induce you, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, you can hold off for like 3 more hours. And I had a blast. So I'm thinking about going to the one in Mattoon.
I think there's a lot of us that are kind of thinking about it, because I keep... wondering, but any good backstories, like any good ribs that he would pull? I'm sure he was probably a ribber. I mean, he's friends with you, so he'd have to be.
Well, one good rib he kept going whenever we would. I'm kind of burying him here a little bit, but whenever we'd go on road trips like to Iowa or whatever, he would always claim broke. I was the one that had to drive, and he would always claim broke. And then after we would do the show, he would literally tell me, he'd give me like $3 and say, "This is all I got. I promise I'll take care of you when we get home." And I'm like, "Dude, you just got paid. We just had a show. Oh, I got to get something to eat." He always had an excuse. And needless to say, I never got paid when I got back. And I think he kept that going as long as I would catch on. And I finally caught on like 4 years later, and I was like, "You got to start driving." So then I started making him drive.
There you go.
But he would always get us lost. Like, there wasn't smartphones back then.
Mm-hmm.
When we first started.
MapQuest.
It was MapQuest. And that's what I was driving. And his only job was to write down the directions. And he would always miss one turn. And that one turn would get us lost and get us like 30, 45 minutes late to the show every single time. And I'm like, "Dude, we're not going to get booked anywhere if we keep showing up late." I was like, "All you got to do is write down the directions." "Oh, I'm sorry." And then every single time we were late at a show, he'd tell a promoter, "Oh, we would have been here if it wasn't for that truck that got in front of us and was running real slow. We couldn't get around." That was his story every single time we were late. And I'm like, there's no way they're believing this all the time, but everyone bought it. Anything Don told them, they bought it. He stuck to that every time he was late. We would have been on time if it wasn't for that truck we got in front of us, and we couldn't get around it. I was like, "No, tell the truth. You wrote down the wrong directions, dude."
We couldn't do that. Why would you do that? Don't do that.
No.
I feel like next time you pop in at 5:59 before a show, you're going to tell me that there's a truck in front of you that you couldn't get home in time.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what it's going to be. Because Oakland has all those trucks that go through it all the time.
That's hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Goodness.
He was a hoop, that's for sure.
I've heard a few stories. Some aren't exactly friendly to share, and
I know. I'm sitting here going through my mind like, what can I tell?
I heard one the other day at a show, and I was like, "Yeah, we can't do that one."
It's not. Does it have to do with a TV?
It has to do with Big Dick.
Dudley?
Okay. No, it's not that one.
Okay. No, didn't have to do with the TV.
No. There's one time he scared the crap out of Lucky Dane.
Oh.
He was supposed to he was supposed to wrestle Lucky Dane one time, and the promoter wanted Lucky Dane to go over, and Don was okay with it, but he just, Lucky Dane had the he had the finisher where he hit you with the box of cereal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they're talking over, and then next thing you know, this show was like at an old grocery store, so they still have the shopping carts and everything in there. So you just hear all this banging down the hallway, and everyone's like, "What the hell is that?" And so we go to check it out, and Madman's in there, literally launching these shopping carts and throwing them against the wall, and it takes a lot to get him mad, but when you get him mad, it's game over. That's one reason why he was called the Madman.
Mm-hmm.
And he's throwing them around and everything. And everybody's like, Don, what's going on? What's going on? And he looks at the promo. He's like, I'm not jobbing to a box of cereal.
He should have just grabbed it and been like, what?
Yeah. So he was upset.
Yeah.
So they came up with the plan to just put the brick in the cereal, and they did the deal that way. But he was pissed.
They New Jacked the cereal box, Minderz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was pissed.
They definitely New Jacked it.
Whenever I hear about people using cereal, I go back to Minderz when we talked to the Grappler, and him and Brian Adams bring the jugs of milk in and the cereal.
Oh yeah. I forgot all about that.
We've had some good times on this podcast. I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what, man. If he was still around, he would want to do this podcast all the time.
And we would have had him on.
I've got a feeling he'd be a regular.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
he'd be a regular.
Like, he had the perfect mind for wrestling. Like, till his, like, all the way until he passed away, he had the action figures that he'd write down storylines for him and everything, and that's how he was so good with his promos. Because I would ask him, like, how are you such a natural? Like, his very first promo that he ever did, but I think before he even stepped in the ring, like, was flawless. And I'm like, how? And he goes, dude, he's like, I've been practicing with my figs all my life. And I was like, fair point. Yeah. I was like, fair point.
See, now I can't help but imagine if Madman had been in trauma unit, if he was still around.
Oh, man.
He would have had a blast with it, I think.
It would have. I don't know, though, because there's no way you could get him over as a heel. He was just too well liked. And like the music, his gimmick and everything, there was no way. They tried to work him as a heel, and it just didn't work. The fans weren't going for it. They're like, no, we like this dude.
Yeah.
So he would have loved to have been in trauma unit. I just don't know if it would have worked if we would have been baby faces, because
right.
It just wouldn't have worked as heels. Like in 0-1, if we would have done it there, he would have been the one that would want to take out trauma unit. Right. And we probably would have let him.
Yeah. Well, no, what you could have done is had him be a double agent.
Yeah.
Like working for you guys, but also being I think you could do a double agent with him. I think that would be fun.
Yeah. I hate that he missed out on a lot of like WWE stuff. Like he never got to see Bobby Lashley's title run. Like, he would be over the moon right now about Oba Femi. Like, good Lord.
Oh yeah. Like,
I love Oba too, but Madman, because he was all about the big guys, and yeah, he would be over the moon about that.
We got another comment here from Dickie Wabash. Just popping in to say Madman was one of the absolute goats. Always a pleasure to share a locker room with him back in the day.
For sure.
And hashtag whose house?
Yep.
And then Reb, I'm gonna let you read this one.
Oh, there's Narge. He's he jumped in. Sorry, I didn't get a chance to make a video. I'm currently not somewhere where I can call in, but Madman was a great guy. Had a blast in NBWA wrestling him in KC. I was one of the main guys who pushed to have them booked on our cards, and then they became regulars for a while. Just a nice guy, intimidating in the ring, but a gentle giant in the back. Pain train. So
I appreciate that, Pain Train. I hope you're doing well, man. Really appreciate that.
I think we tried to talk him into having a comeback match for 0-1 once, but Never
we
happened.
tried. It never panned out.
Yeah.
We were going to put him in there with Conley.
Well, no,
That would have been
Marvin.
cool.
Would have been
I would
Marvin.
like to see that. And going back to ribs.
Yeah.
I think he had a rib going on me without telling me, and I didn't find out till after he passed away. I wish I had had time to dig it out, but he made a best of Madman DVD, and I have it. And on the cover, I've never seen this cover until I got it in my possession, but on the cover is him gorilla pressing me. And I'm just like, why is he picking on me? And I'm like, so he just got me in there. And then all the matches in the back is the matches him and I had against each other. So I'm like, I think this is an ongoing rib on how he counted all the times he would kick my butt. And he never told me about it. He always would tell me, "Oh, I got a DVD," but he would never show me.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm gonna have to pull the footage where I body slammed the Madman.
There you go. Yeah, I know we wanted to do something special for him, and I wish all the people that wanted to be here could be here.
It's the problem with doing a show on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of that, Jordan Perry did reach out to me, and he wanted me to say that he's been so busy with life and everything, he didn't get a chance to make a video, but he did pass a message on to me to tell everyone. He wanted a story to tell real quick that he was one of the pallbearers for Madman, and we had the pallbearer gloves, and we all threw one in the casket. In the grave, and then we kept the other one. And he wanted everybody to know that he keeps that extra glove in a special place, and he's got it with him every time he wrestles, and he looks at it before he goes out before every single match. He thinks of Don every single time before he goes out. So he just wanted to share that story that he has that pallbearer glove, and he looks at it before every match, and he keeps it on him. I'm not going to say where he keeps it.
I don't want to know.
His business.
That's his business.
It's not that. It's not nothing dirty, nothing like that. But
that's a personal thing to him. So
if he told me to say where he keeps it, but I'll leave that up to him. If he wants people to know where he keeps it, I'll leave it up to him. But he does have it on him every single time he has a show. So he did want me to relay that message to everybody. He said he wasn't ignoring it, you guys. He had planned on making a video like Chris Cooper, and he just got stuck with life and he forgot.
We totally understand it. Totally understand it.
He was not the only one.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, if everyone, like, if we could get everybody, this podcast would be 8 hours.
Well, actually, when we were discussing it, and I looked at Reb and I said, we had plans for different people to come on, and I was like, we're not getting done until 10 o'clock, I bet you.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I said, hey, however long it goes. That's the way we're going to play this.
Yeah.
And as long as people keep telling us stories, we want to hear them. So that's kind of the way I thought we would handle all this. Reb, I thought you said we were going to have another guest join us.
Well, he's supposed to.
Okay.
He does have the link. And,
okay.
So we're going to...
Well, one of the guys you're probably real familiar with, Rob. Big man Rob.
Yeah.
Leach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
Voice of the Indies.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob, he touched Rob too, in many ways.
Well, I'm sure he was probably a big part of Rob's life.
Yeah.
Because I know he was around Springfield a lot, so probably growing up, because I know Rob was young when I met him.
Yeah. And Madman used to do a moonsault, believe it or not, off the top rope, and he called it the Mississippi Salt. And when he would pull that move out, there'd be bigger wrestlers would come up to him after the show and was like, "Oh man, you inspired me to get back in shape, and now I got to do that." And he always started something with guys, and they just followed it. It was awesome.
I'm just curious, since you knew him so well, who were some of his favorites that he liked, like as you guys were watching wrestling growing up?
Oh Oh man, it's hard to remember.
Because there's some things like I would think like Bam Bam maybe or
Coco Beware, Junkyard Dog. He loved Ron Simmons. If you can't tell, he's a big fan of black wrestling.
Yes. Yep. Totally get it. Totally. We know somebody else like that, don't we, Reb?
He loved the Von Erichs. I think his number one favorite group was the Von Erichs. He loved the Von Erichs. Those were his guys. He I don't know if he was a Hogan fan or not. I don't remember. He loved Macho Man. Those are just a few I can think off the top of my head. But like he had everybody. I was actually best friends with his brother before him. And when I came home one day with his brother after school, Don was upstairs in his room playing with his wrestlers. And I'm like, you like wrestling too? He goes, heck yeah. And he's like, look at all this. So he started showing me all these wrestlers that he had. And I was like, we're going to become new friends. We're going to become good friends. So I kind of like, me and his brother are still friends to this day, but I clung on more to Don after that. And he kind of stole me away from his brother.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, you guys are in wrestling school together and travel on the road, and because there's always that mentality of we're road warriors together. Not pun not intended, but yeah.
Road warriors. He'd fall asleep before we left the parking lot.
Sounds like somebody else I know.
Always driving home by myself. Well, he was with me, but literally by myself because he'd be asleep before we hit the first stoplight. And I'm like, dude, you're supposed to keep me awake.
That used to get me in trouble all the time when going on band gigs, and I'd be in the front seat. Now, same deal. I was supposed to keep my buddy awake. Wouldn't happen.
Every day was cheat day. Anytime we had a show, he'd be back there snacking on something. Like, Don, you're not supposed to be eating that. You're supposed to, do this, do that. Oh, it's cheat day, cheat day, cheat day. So it would be the next show. He's back there munching on some chips or something. Like, Don, go get you some water or something. Oh, it's fine. It's cheat day. It's cheat day. Every day was cheat day. Like, come on, dude.
So who are some of your guys' favorite tag teams to go against?
Man. The number one tag team that I can think of is Homicidal Davis and Axe Allworth up at All American Pro Wrestling. We had some bangers with them. There was one time when we run late.
That darn truck.
Right? And that darn truck. They ran old school down there where they literally had a heel and a babyface locker room.
Oh, wow.
So after a certain point of the night, you couldn't talk to them. So not to toot our own horns or anything, but we ran in the upper card all the time at this place, towards either the main event or towards the main event all the time. So when we were running late, we were like, "It's fine, we'll be okay." And we were probably like 45 minutes away, and the promoter reaches out and he's like, "Where you guys at?" I'm like, "Oh, we're running late on that darn truck." And he's like, well, how long you think when do you think you're gonna get here? Because you guys are opening. And we was like, what? So he's like, yeah, you're opening the show. I was like, oh man, okay. So we had to kick it up a notch. We literally get there and the national anthem's playing.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And so I asked him, before we hung up the phone, I asked him who we had, and he told us it was Stephen Davis and Axe Allworth. And the national anthem playing. So I'm sitting there and we're like rushing to get dressed and doing the best we can to get dressed. And I'm just like, I looked at the promoter, was just like, who's over? Cool. And I looked at Don, I was like, we're just gonna have to wing this because there's nothing we can do. So he actually sent the heels out there to kind of promo to buy us more time. to get dressed. And finally, we go out there, and probably out of all the matches I've had, probably top 5.
Oh, wow.
Like, it was great. And that's when I actually started becoming a fan of, like, calling it in the ring. Like, ever since then, I was like, man, I'm just gonna start calling this from here on out.
Yeah.
And so they would be they'd be a good tag team. And then there was Team Damn It. That was Willie the Bomb Richardson and what was Jay Washington's ring name? I don't remember his ring name.
That's it was one of the Soul Touches. I remember from.
Yeah, he was one of the Soul Touches. Always had good matches against them. The Convoy. R.I.P. to one half of the Convoy. He passed away, I think, earlier part of last year. But the Convoy was always a good time. We had some bangers against Matt Cage and Christian Rose.
Oh, geez.
So,
there's a tag team for you.
Yeah, we had some good matches against them. Bull Bronson and his tag team. I can name 100 of them, but those are like the ones I can think of off the top of my head as far as my favorite matches.
Well, Trauma, you at the house?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you'd be so proud of me, Casey.
Look, I can actually do this again.
Yay! You'd be so proud of me, Casey. Sometimes me and Mom are the only two cheering for him, but we're still cheering for him, and everybody's
That's good. That's
how
good.
do you like? Trust me, it's easy.
Right. We appreciate you more than you know.
They had a hell of a match with Highlight Reel on Sunday.
They did
in Danville. So
okay.
Yeah, it was a really good match.
Nice.
They got screwed over in it, but that's beside the point.
Of course. I'll just have to show up with them next time and we'll take care of business.
There you go. But, well, Reb, what do you want to do here, bub?
Well,
still waiting on your guest.
Rob's behind the truck. He's
Rob's behind the truck.
Rob's
apparently
behind the truck. Okay, yeah, that darn truck.
That darn truck.
Yeah.
He would have been there on time for that truck.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that truck.
So let me ask you this. This is a question I like to ask people about guys that
not because it's a biz, but that was a banger. It was an SCW. It's actually on YouTube.
We're gonna have to go look it up.
But that's probably the match I would show.
As I said, like I said, I feel like I showed up just that darn truck got in the way for me to show up and actually be able to see what Madman was doing, could do, and all this stuff, because it was literally because it was right after his passing, or well, not right after his passing, but the May after his passing.
Right.
That I started really going to independent shows, and from what I've heard, I feel like him and I could have been the ones we'd be sitting there just shooting the shit for a really long time.
You would, and Don was a talker, so a lot. You would definitely be shooting the shit all night long. He would have you cracking up. He'd have you cracking up. And then also, I can't forget Attitude Inc. Spencer Powers and Guy Smith loved taking them on as a tag team. We had some great matches against them too.
Yeah.
Well, it was lovely how I got to see you whoop Spencer's butt the last.
It was a long time coming.
A long time coming, and I enjoyed every bit of it. But
I wish I would have cracked more toys against his head.
Hey, I told you could use a pan of fudge.
You should have hit him with this He-Man book. That thing's huge.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that, or I would have.
Yeah, Reb, it was the one time that I was actually concerned that I was not in a safe place. Because they came right. Well, no, I'm not complaining about where I was at because it was great. Because I did really well that night with my fudge, and But here's Fudge. Here's FXB. And then here's Spencer Powers. I didn't want to be that close to him.
Yeah.
Did not want to be that close to him. If it had been Pixel Dan, maybe a different story.
Right. Exactly.
Spencer Powers? Hell no. But, so are we going to see you in a couple? No. When is the next Pro Wrestling Glory show?
That is a good question. I know Iron Spirit's coming up, and then
I guess Prodigy Project is coming up in March.
Prodigy Project's coming up in March, so PWG is probably on hold until after that. But
That's what I was guessing.
Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it is.
There's
a few other things I've been working on, but I'm trying to hit the treadmill first.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I got not being able to work out for a year and a half has really killed me. Jeez.
I bet.
Because the gym was part of my sanctuary, and I couldn't go for a long time. Thanks to Spencer Powers.
Mm-hmm.
Jerk. But all right, Reb, what other questions you got for KC?
Well,
awkward silence. Let's go.
I'm always good for an awkward silence or two.
Him and I also had some good matches against each other as well. One that sticks out in my head is probably the last man standing match that we had at SCW up in Iowa.
Okay.
So that was a good one, and I accidentally busted his lip like into a million pieces.
Whoops.
And he's just back there like, it's okay, you're my friend, it's okay.
See, Reb, I feel like this is a Minderz law.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get two close friends together in the ring, and they're gonna beat the hell out of each other. That's just what you're gonna do.
Yeah,
you're gonna hit your best friend harder than you're gonna hit some guy you just met.
That's true. This one was on him though, because we did the Van Terminator or whatever it's called, the Coast to Coast. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
So we did the garbage can deal and climb up on the ropes, and I guess he was wanting to see where I was, and when he took a peek, that's when I was right there.
Oh.
So right when he took the peek is when I kicked the garbage can in his face, and everything just went.
Oof.
I didn't know he was hurt until I got back to the locker room and seen blood everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Ouchie.
And they're back there patching him up, and he's like, "Oh, it's fine. It was a great match. We're good.
Well, that's what a wrestler did, you know.
Yeah.
You just want to put on a good show for the fans to keep everybody happy, and it's totally expected, you know. And I can see that.
Exactly.
Because go ahead, Reb. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you go right ahead.
I was gonna say when I was trying to do some research to find out some stuff about Madman, because like I said, I never got to meet him. It surprised me how little there is about him on the internet. Like when you look him up, there's not a lot of details about him outside of where he worked, championships, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because one of our best times was going up to when we worked for NWA in Chicago. NWA No Limits. He did that. We had I feel so bad for him. We got called to do a JCW show, and he was taking on Tracy Smothers.
Oh, nice.
And I don't know, for some reason, I don't know why, but they did not air his match, and he was so crushed. Oh, he was crushed. Him and Tracy had a great match. And it was at the Club 217. It's when JCW came to town. I took on Too Tough Tony, and he wrestled Tracy Smothers, and it was great. And then when we watched the playback, when they aired it, they didn't air his match, and he was so upset. I was like, dude. So that's going to be one that's going to be lost in the archives, because it's just not out there unless someone recorded it.
Yeah. I've never seen somebody get more excited about a gelato cart than Too Tough Tony.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was one of the TPIs, and it was before the show, we were all just kind of hanging out outside in the playground at this rec center they ran. and this dude was just rolling by, walking around with this gelato cart, and I never seen Tony run that fast, and he just took off after him to go get his gelato.
That's funny.
But did he hit you with the meteorite in that match? Do you remember?
He did. Yeah.
Jerk.
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
Oh man. Him and Rolling Hard used to both do that. Minderz. Roland would do it with a chop, and he would always it took him forever to get his hand out.
Yeah, I bet.
That's funny.
I'm just excited that you said that, and I knew exactly what you were talking about, and that's impressive for me to know exactly what you're talking about with moves. But
but no, it had to be awesome just to be in the ring with Tracy for him, because he's one of our favorites for sure.
Yeah, it was magical. It was great. It was really good.
Yeah, funny thing about Tracy, he would always sell lucha masks at his gimmick table, even though he never wore a mask before. I think when he'd go to Mexico, he'd just buy up all these and resell them.
Nice.
So somewhere, I don't know where, I have an autographed Rey Mysterio mask, but the autograph is Tracy Smothers.
Really? That sounds like Tracy.
Putting his boots on at the table. And
right.
He was a trip. He's awesome.
I was like, we're all getting excited now because coming up next month is our Scored Circle Expo that we go to every year. So we get and there's about 4 people that I've popped big time that are going to be there that I'm super excited to meet.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them, the Killer Bees.
Okay, yep.
And the other one I'm really excited. I'm excited the Blue Meanie's going to be there again this year.
Oh, okay, cool.
I made friends with his significant other, not sure, girlfriend, wife, whatever. Made friends with her last year at the after party. So hopefully we're going to be able to remake all of the fun we had at that.
We saw the gray meanie at the after party.
Yeah, we saw the white meanie at the after party. And then I actually got tickets for a picture with Stacy, Reb's wife, and I are going to get pictures with the Big Show.
Okay.
Just because we figure you're on 2 girls about this high, with a giant about this high in the middle.
I got to see that picture.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be. I'm gonna put it in a frame somewhere in this house at some point. But
I got a buddy who's going. He's trying to get me to go with him, and I tell him I don't know, but we'll see.
It's a good time. Yeah. It's a great time. We have a lot of fun.
The only thing I've actually paid for so far is the photo and autograph with Chono and Great Muta. That's going to happen, which you kind of have to.
I mean, I was going to say that you have to.
And then they have a wrestling show at the end, like on the Saturday night after everything. The main event is Jake Oman, which I think you're familiar with him, aren't you? Jake Oman?
Yeah.
And Mr. International. And he's facing Bandito.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a banger.
Yeah. That is gonna be a banger. I don't know. Oh wait. What Cooper, what do you want? You're talking to one half of the only living member of Money Making Jam Boys. No one cares about the Killer Bees. Shut up, Papa.
He's done away all of the good that he did with playing, sending us the video by
there went all the good in the video.
I mean,
like Davey Boy Smith Jr.
I might have to side with Chris on this.
Davey Boy Smith Jr. is going to be there.
There's a Who's Whooping Who Minderz, Money Making Jam Boys against the Killer Bees.
There you go.
Book it.
Book it. But yeah,
it's so funny how that name came about too.
How did that come about?
How did it come about?
Because it was sort of like an accident. So we were there was a place in Sterling, I think. I'm not quite sure. But they're not in business anymore, which is unfortunate because it was fun going up there. I think I don't even remember. I can't even begin to remember. I have a poster around here somewhere. If I find the poster, I'll tell you what fed it was. But actually, a memory just came up on Facebook. I should have shared it the other day. Anyways, they always had us in like towards the main event, and we would always be on the poster. Again, not trying to like come off as cocky or anything, but it was just one of those things that one day they put like all their new guys on the poster and left us off, but they put our name and it said also special guest Mississippi Madman and Casey Jackson. And I said, what? I said, we ain't no also special guests. We the money making jam boys. And then Don was like, yeah, you're right. We make money up in here. The people come to see us. We was kind of running like a heel gimmick at the time, trying to get Don as a heel, but it wasn't working. And so I'm like, we're the money making jam boys. And then Don looks at me and he goes, hey, dog, we should use that as our tag name. And I was like, and I played it over and over. I was like, yeah, let's go for it. So we just took it and ran with it from there. So it was kind of just by accident because somebody had us on the poster as also special guest. And we're like, our names aren't also special guests.
We're the main event here. Come on.
Exactly.
I was going to show you because you did say that Coco Ware was one of.
Oh, that's dope.
Now, Minderz, he said Coco Beware. He corrected you.
He did.
Nice.
But yeah, we had a lot of fun with it. We asked him where Frankie was. Frankie didn't want to come.
Frankie was tired.
What's Papa saying now? Okay, every conversation with Casey involves the phrase, I've got something around here about that. I just need to find it. 20 years. And he has said that in every conversation.
He's not lying. one of my best friends, Garen. He does not believe that I body slammed the Madman. He doesn't believe it. And I was like, I have the footage around here somewhere. And he's been waiting like 8 years to see this footage. And he's like, it doesn't exist. You don't have it. I'm like, yes, I do, but I don't know where it is. I gotta dig in. I gotta dig in my closet. Like, my kids are gonna have a field day digging through all my stuff one day. But I do have it. But Chris is not wrong. Like, it's always like I'll get to it. And yeah, 20 years later, here we are.
I was gonna say one of our people that I had reached out to about a video just messaged me and said, when do you need this by? And I was like, I sent this to you. I told you this on Sunday. I said, we needed it by Wednesday. Come on.
Oh, damn.
Sorry. We about had a spit take, Reb.
Oh, man, that was great.
I'll put it this way. I'll just move this way and maybe you can figure out who was supposed to send the video.
Okay, yep.
Just any direction in that room. And
no, you can't turn any direction in this room. My podcast room. My shrine room, as everybody seems to call it.
No, I've seen your shrine room.
What happened to the door that used to have in there? You still got that?
It's behind the flag.
Oh, okay.
There's one over here. This is a door. There's the ladder.
Gotcha.
Those are BA's pants.
Okay.
That's the body bag.
I can see in Casey's eyes, like, why do you have his pants?
Because he needed gas money to get back to home from the show.
Fair enough.
And it was in the...
We've all been there.
Yeah, well, it was in the last man standing match.
Okay.
From Decatur when Carrot and BA had the big...
Yeah.
That big match. But
That's
yeah,
great.
I have... It's not everything. I mean, I have a wrestle buddy of Josh Crane, and I have a wrestle buddy of Matt Cardona.
Okay.
Both autographed, right?
Yep, both autographed. Now I just gotta find my Molly Holly. Oh yeah, that's the other one that's going to be at the expo too. But I gotta find my Molly Holly so I can get it signed too by
There you
her.
go.
Now if they could just get
tag rope
Edge
behind you.
Yeah, oh yeah, the premier tag rope from when they wrestled the Pro Wrestling Glory.
Nice. How do you know how they're doing? I haven't heard any updates on this.
I haven't heard any updates. I know Myers has been a smartass on Twitter a lot here lately, so I'm assuming he's in good spirits anyway. Yeah, I haven't seen really too much of an update. every time I've sent them a message, I haven't heard back from them because we'd actually asked them to send us links because when they were selling merch from where they were going to be missing shows, and I never did get the link, so I'm not sure.
Well, at least he's active, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, he's active. I've seen him on there.
Cool.
Yeah, those guys, and then, well, I've got my tugboat hat, my Snitsky baby.
Oh, the baby.
Got a Snitsky baby. It's fun. It says Snitsky was here, written right here on its forehead with it signed.
He wants to talk about what he has, but he doesn't want to say, I just need to find it again.
True story. I do have Madman's boots, and I know where those are.
Oh, yeah?
Well, there you go. There's, a lot of these things, people chuckle at me and say, because, like, I still even have BA's face mask from when Devontae broke his nose with his ass.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's like, why do you always pick these things up? I said, you never know.
Yeah.
I said, all the indie guys that you see now, I mean, shoot, I can remember when I saw Jordan Oliver at New Wave Pro and he got a concussion from Don't Die Miles.
Yeah.
And shoot, even he remembered me. Like Jordan even remembered me, and I was like, that was
I think she
before
froze.
COVID. Oh, it was before COVID. Am I not?
That is true. You never know.
Well, I think they both
Am I back yet? Am I?
That's interesting.
What happened? Am I here? Did I freeze?
There I am.
No, you're not frozen on my end.
Okay.
Okay, now you're back. You both froze on me.
We both froze on you. It was.
I was worried I was going to have to go again, but
oh no, Casey and I are sitting here like, what's going on?
I don't know. I mean, the timer was still going on my computer, just you guys weren't. So I was curious.
You never left, he says.
Oh.
Papa Pullman.
My computer is pudding today.
But yeah, it's like, me and Jordan Oliver and all this other stuff, and it's like, and then when we go to a GCW show, and he's like, wait a minute, I've seen you somewhere before. And this was before I had multicolored hair, so you can't say that it was the hair. And I told him that I was there when he got the concussion. He goes, I kind of remember that. He's like, because you were in the front row. And I said, yes, I was. And, seeing those, and now those guys are at AEW. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, look,
Billy Starks, same way.
Yeah, I have a few rare pieces myself from way back. And then they made it big now.
So it's like, why not keep all the things I can that I can get my hands on, put it in my podcast room and get it signed?
Yep.
Who knows? You never know. It might be worth money someday.
It might be.
You never know. And if not, it's always going to be a good memory.
True.
So.
True.
This Madman doesn't like you not keeping the focus on him and he's messing with your equipment.
That could be true. Could be true.
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
But Reb, we have gone almost an hour.
We have. Well, before we let Casey go, we're going to do something else. We started doing an independent wing of our JTR Hall of Fame this year. We did one in January. We're going to do one every month, and we figured it was only right. We're going to put Madman in the independent wing.
Nice.
Of our Hall of Fame. So
that's awesome.
We wanted to make sure we got that out there.
Love that.
Yeah.
So far, he's in there right now with
Chris Hero is the only other one.
Chris Hero is the only other one in there.
Oh, okay.
We're picking ones that have either meant something to around this area or have meant something to independent wrestling as a whole.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, like, just a few of the names that we've thrown around, Tracy Smothers. Like different ones that have just been real active in the independent scene. What is he saying now?
Love it.
Oh, he's clapping.
Okay. So he approves.
He approves. Yay.
Right quick, before you guys go, back before Well, back when we were kids, wrestling, Madman used to tassel. He used to detassel corn, and I was the only one who couldn't because I have bad allergies. But wrestling got him fired from detasseling, and the reason why is because instead of him working, he would go down the cornfields and he would just slap the corn, and they would ask him, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm practicing slapping hands with the fans for when I become a wrestler." And they told him to stop doing that. And he every day he'd go back, he'd do a couple, and then he'd just be sitting there on the clock just slapping the corn, pretending like they were fans. And he said, "I got to get my walk down," and this, that, and the other. And he's like in the 7th grade.
Hey, you know what, Casey? We might keep you around here just a minute because we just had somebody pop in. Do you see Reb?
I see. Let's bring him in. Rob Leach, hello, sir.
I charge by the hour.
You charge by the hour? Okay, I'll bring you some more fudge.
I can't pay Casey's tab. I'm sorry. He's too much.
Did you get stuck behind the truck?
I didn't get stuck behind the truck. I came home and apparently the toilet's leaking, so me and my roommate have been worried about that.
Say no more.
Say no more. We get it.
Was it the Taco Bell, bro?
No, it was the Krispy Kreme, actually.
Gotcha.
So, Rob, we've heard some good stories. So why don't you share some stories?
Oh man, I mean, I don't necessarily have any super great stories. Madman was on the first ever independent wrestling show I ever went to here in Springfield. It was in July of 2015. Madman and KC wrestled John Magnus and Michael Shard for the tag team titles. And KC, you'll remember that was the show that you and Don covered Shard and Magnus with ketchup and mustard and had hot dogs in the briefcase or whatever.
Was that at the baseball thing?
Yeah, at the baseball stadium.
Oh man, Michael Shard made me chase him all the way in the outfield. I was so pissed. I was so blown up. When I got back to the ring.
I remember that day, but I know there were 3 guys that made an impression, and it was always obviously Derek Moss and then Casey and Don. They were like the 3 guys on that show that I was like, I hope I get to see him again. Oh geez, I'm about to close this thing out on accident. But I had a lot of fun with like watching Don, and a couple months after that first show, I actually ended up getting to do commentary for that company. And a couple of months later, Casey and Don were kind of being used regularly, both for tag teams and for single stuff. And I got to see Don regularly for about a year before, unfortunately, he went in the hospital with his first big health scare. And I'm very grateful that he got to come back from that. And I was at his first match back from that. It was so funny. It was Casey Jackson and Tracy Smothers versus Joey Grunge and the Mississippi Madman.
Wow.
And I mean, what an experience that was. Madman turned on Joey Grunge at the end of the show, and it was crazy. And I got to see Madman have one last big run in Springfield, obviously, too, before he ended up, having a few health issues and ended up retiring. But I think one of the greatest moments is I was there when he got inducted into the PWA Hall of Fame, and I was there when he got inducted into the Central Illinois Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame in 2019. And that was actually the last time he ever hit the 5th flow on the man Matt Boston. And Casey, inducted him for that. And it was really an honor to be there. I remember just a couple months later, it was actually the last time I got to see Don at a show in Springfield because the whole COVID thing happened. And unfortunately, about a year later, Don passed away in February 2021. So I've got a lot of great memories with Don, and I've always just been honored and grateful to have him have been part of my career, because it is truly there was nobody else like him. I'm sure you've heard that 1,000 times tonight. There was nobody else like him. He is one of a kind, one and only. There'll never be another one like him.
We've heard some interesting stories. We've heard some just how great he was. I knew you were close with him, or seemed to be anyway. I'll put it that way. And so I knew this was going to mean a lot to you. The other person I wish we could have got on, but life happens, was Victor, because I thought he would have a lot of a lot of things to say.
Yeah, and on his behalf, I can share that he told me, right around the time Don passed away, Victor told me that, when he was still really new, coming around in the central Illinois area specifically, Don was one of the first person that he just kind of talked to and made him feel like he was part of the locker room. They started talking about old music they like to listen to and all kinds of cool stuff. And so Don played a big hand in helping Victor feel part of the family in central Illinois. And I mean, look at Victor now.
Yeah. A lot of the guys now. There's a lot of guys that we hear talk about Madman and how he welcomed them into the locker rooms and things like that. Especially, it's just I'm disappointed that I missed Madman. Like it's like we were talking with Casey earlier. It's two ships crossing in the night that neither one of us really. It just so happened that he was gone by the time I started following, and it was just a bummer because I wish I could have seen more. Because I remember being when 01 did their remembrance of him.
For sure.
Yeah, at Decatur. So, and I know Reb said that was the first time. That was the first 01 show that he had seen, was that one, and so we talked about that.
Right. That was unfortunately I didn't get to be at that show. I did get to do that first 01 show right after he passed away. 01 was doing shows in Noble at the time because of the whole COVID thing. We couldn't run in Mattoon, so I was grateful enough to get to host, kind of the tribute ceremony for Madman. And one of the most important moments is I remember I kind of held my emotions together because that same day we all had the funeral for Madman earlier in the day.
Oh, wow.
And so we went to his funeral in Decatur, and then we traveled to Noble to do the show. And I remember I held it together until the very end of the tribute video when I looked over and Jordan Perry was like bawling. And that's when I broke. And so I walked over there with the rest of the guys. And Tanner Keeler was the first guy that grabbed me because Tanner was another guy who told me about how he wished he could have met Don, so Tanner was the first guy that just grabbed me into a big hug because he knew how much Don meant to me too. And it was a hard time for us all, but I'm very grateful to say that there's so much footage that isn't out there that I plan to try and help get out there of Don and just, all kinds of great memories for him.
Well, KC has a DVD that he's got it around there somewhere, and one of these days he's going to find it.
Yep. I know where it is. I just got to find it.
Yeah, he knows where it is. He's just got to find it.
Yeah, for sure. That's the most KC thing I've ever heard.
I don't know what to do with you and Chris.
Oh, but it's been... Rob, I know you had issues, and we understand that. I wish you could have got... Oh, Reb, show him... Did you get to see the thing we did for... We have inducted Madman into the JTR Hall of Fame on our independent wing.
Oh, nice.
So...
Well, that's really cool.
Yeah, so we're starting to do that. And
sweet.
Like we were telling Casey, it's going to be for people that have done a lot for the independents, maybe not necessarily just around here, but just independent wrestling in general. Because right now it's Madman and Chris Hero.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
I think we may have to try and get we try to get certificates for the guys. Like we go to the expo, we've got Hall of Famers there. We'll have to try to get one to Madman's brother next time we see him on one of the shows.
Very cool. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So that's kind of where we've been. But Reb, is there anything else? Would you like to ask Rob anything more?
No, I think we covered. I mean, I guess my question would be for you: did you get any really good advice from Don when you would be on shows together?
I mean, so unfortunately, I never got to be as close to Don as a lot of other people that were probably on tonight. But I think one of the things that I learned the most is like, if you really want to do something, nobody can tell you you're not going to do it. Like if you want it bad enough, you're going to end up doing it. That's what motivation's all about. And Don did that. Like when I came in, Casey was telling the story about Don high-fiving the corn stalks and everything like that. So, it was one of those things where if you really have a dream and you want to do something, if you put your gears toward it, you're going to be able to do it. And Don was able to enjoy the fruits of his labor for a long time, shown through matches like him and Abyss from SCW. There's somewhere on YouTube, there's a tag match where he teamed up with Hornswoggle before Hornswoggle got signed to WWE.
I bet that was fun.
So there was a lot of great stuff. And I think that, another lesson that I've learned from Don over the years is just that no matter where you are in wrestling, no matter your spot on the show, no matter if you're winning or losing, keep the same positive attitude, because that is what's going to be remembered about you the most among the fans and the locker room.
Yeah. Yep. Matthew Boston, not sure. Hopefully you guys.
That's the man, Matt Boston. That was the man that took the last.
That's my brother right there.
That's your brother. Okay, so many memories. His debut with NMW, hearing the pop when his mom came at me during a promo in MPW, Don being told not to do a move in his retirement speech segment and calling me to feed into one anyways. Loved Madman. Casey, you're pretty fly too. Casey's seen them all. He booked the middle one. LOL.
Yep. Like Don and Matt Boston made magic. Like they were so good together. He's the one that took Madman's final fifth flow.
Okay.
And it was just like, man, it's just like when those two got together, it was gold. It was comedy gold. They had good matches. And I remember one where Matt Boston came out and tried to interrupt Don, and Don hit him with the fifth flow. And this was like in the middle of the show, and he stayed out there, sold Don's fifth flow for the rest of the show. And Don, the tag team heels came out and was cutting a promo on me and Don. And Don, anytime would like walk over to like talk, he would step on Matt Boston, and then I would step on him, and then he would roll out of the ring. And then when the next group of wrestlers came out, he was still out there selling. They would step on him. Like Matt was a trooper, man. That's my dude. That's my dude right there. True story on Facebook. I don't know if you can publicly see it or not, but if you go to my family history, I got all my siblings and mom and dad and stuff named on there, and then I have Matt Boston, brother. So
sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But yeah, we've just had so many different people. Like, we're familiar with you guys, and just it's like seeing how Don affected you guys has made us wish we had met him.
Oh, for sure. If I can backtrack a little bit, there was a story that a guy named Zesty Zach Sawyer, Casey will know that name, maybe. I don't know if you guys will. Zach Sawyer told me a story. He was in the locker room with Don, and Zach kind of opened up. He had some gummy bears or something, and he started eating them. And Don just looks over at Zach and said, "Give Madman some of them gummies."
I told you, cheat day.
Yep.
We got another one here from Papa Cooper. Matt Boston is a Central Illinois legend. Those days of New Midwest are unmatched.
That's right.
For sure.
And then Garen Turner. I remember one time Casey and Madman did a show in Rockford, Illinois, where Goldust was also booked. They both had a table side by side, and more people were in line for Madman than Goldust.
Nice.
That is 100% fact.
I'd believe it. I'd believe that.
And,
but yeah.
and Garen's also the guy that doesn't believe that I slammed the Madman. So
gotcha.
I have to find this footage before I pass away, or he's probably gonna talk at my funeral and tell me how I've never slammed the Madman. Because it's not on YouTube anywhere. It's on a DVD, and I have to find it.
I remember seeing Truck Thompson slam the Madman.
Yeah,
that was quite the feet.
Yeah, Truck wanted to join us tonight. Also, he had scheduling issues; he couldn't make it on. Right. But he sends his regards also.
But yeah, we wanted to have. We had this big grand thing that we wanted to do, and hi, this is the two people that were here.
Hey, you know what?
That's all right.
If we're getting two people, these are the two we get.
Yeah, if you're getting two, these are the two to get. Papa Cooper said, I don't think it happened either.
Okay. He's only doing that because he's forcing me to find this footage. That's all.
That's what he's doing.
This has turned into Lawler and Andre in Memphis. Only the people that were there can say that it happened.
Man.
But but we have gone an hour and 16 minutes.
Yeah.
Rob, we know you had scheduling issues, but we appreciate you coming on.
I was glad to be here.
Yeah. And Casey, thanks for hanging out with us the whole time. We appreciate that and telling us some good stories, especially the road stories.
Appreciate you. Yep, for sure.
From now on, it's always going to be the truck as to why I'm Karen says what footage.
Yep.
But it'll always be the truck from now on every time I'm late. And But yeah, thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you guys very much.
Wrap this up for tonight, and we'll be back to our normally scheduled stuff next week. But we wanted to take some time out to really make sure we did a salute to the Madman.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Reb, do your close.
All right. Well, thanks again to Casey Jackson, Rob Leach for joining us. And until next time, for Minderz, this is Reb saying, life is hard, work stiff, R.I.P. Madman, and we'll see you guys next week.